What up? It's Casper. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the movie Creed. The movie Creed is a 2015 film. It's rated PG-13 and it's 2 hours and 13 minutes. Directed by Ryan Coogler. So written by Ryan Coogler, and awesome to know Stallone actually has a writing credits on this movie. The Rocky franchise in general, one of my favorite franchises ever. Sylvester Stallone, one of my favorite actors and one of my favorite people as well. Those movies are just instant classics, and it's crazy I barely got into them a few years ago. But anytime you think about the Rocky movies, it's just an uplifting type of movie, good message, great motivation, very intense moments in there. The Rocky movies is literally from a golden era, so whoever was watching those movies during that time definitely had to show their kids or their kids. But this is a movie, Rocky franchise, that you definitely have to show people. You can see where other people can just see is just straight movie, but this message, the way Rocky was done, the way characters are there, the way the feeling of the movie is, the way it gives you goosebumps, the dedication is real in all those movies. Obviously some movies are better than others, but seeing Rocky Balboa, Stallone in every movie basically grow is astonishing to see, and it's crazy how much of his character just captured, and you just want to stay in tune. When I first started to hear about the Creed movies and who was a part of it, there was a lot of stuff that I heard in the background on making this project happen, and especially a franchise like Rocky, they're trying to continue it, and this is what the Rocky movie does. Every other movie is a continuation of the last one, so this one right here, Creed, the backstory and the facts behind this movie, there's a lot of info that people should actually look into and dive into. But that being said, generations have gone by, and now we have this movie Creed, who is starred by Michael B. Jordan, and he's playing Apollo Creed's son. Insane to even think about and insane to even say. This movie is about Michael B. Jordan's character, Adonis Johnson, and he is Apollo Creed's son. Apollo Creed had a son that we didn't know about, but this movie is about basically his son years after his father had passed away, and now we're seeing generations go by. If you catch up with the Rocky franchise, that there's a lot of stuff where you can point out and be like, oh, thank goodness they're paying homage. Very insane. So we have Michael B. Jordan, he plays Adonis Johnson. He's going to Philadelphia to go with Rocky Balboa, and he's trying to have him train him to become a great boxer and form his own legacy. So this movie is straightforward. You got Rocky Balboa training Apollo Creed's son years after Rocky Balboa had retired, and Rocky Balboa didn't even expect to be in this position. So that's what the whole general point of this movie is. Apollo Creed's son, Adonis, is now in the boxing lifestyle, and he wants Rocky Balboa to train him. Being a Rocky fan, straight up, I couldn't wait just to see these progressions and see what other things are going to be brought into this movie. I really like how in the beginning scene, they actually had a real feel story to actually showing that this is not just some make-believe things. A lot of the stuff was actually real life situations that you can actually see happening, but you can only know if you heard it from someone else, like, hey, this happened with Apollo's Creed's son and stuff like that. Like hearing from a word of mouth, now you're seeing it, you're like, whoa, this is great. So many moments where my eyes lit up, adding things from the past into this future, like it all fit like a perfect puzzle piece. Getting scene on scene that the smaller kid version, Creed, had characteristics of a fighter. He has so much anger and fighter passion already. You see those characteristics already, seeing like, okay, I can see this kid is gonna become something. The quality of this movie, very enhanced. A lot of the Rocky movies had improvement with every other movie, and this movie you could see that improvement was all around there, but not something to show off, but something to be like, hey, we could have worked on this a little bit better on another movie, let's try it with this one. Really like how this movie had great camera angles, good sports moments to show Rocky 6 had those sports moments. This movie had great sports moments, fit in the right time. Great moments on showing montage moments in this movie where they actually were obvious montage moments, but different. I like the spice, I like the twist. I really like how the montage moments weren't only just working out, motivation, hype yourself up, encouragement moments, even though that's what they were, but they also mixed it up with helpful moments, kindness moments, where we got Adonis helping out Rocky Balboa, because Rocky Balboa, aka Stallone, is old now, and it's crazy to even talk about and say that. He has cancer in this movie. What the heck is going on? A lot of moments in this movie where I can just point out like, that was awesome, that was cool, and that's because they're bringing a lot of the moments from the old Rocky movies into here. Great character development starting from the beginning to the end. Seeing Michael B. Jordan's character, really like how we could see his growth, we could see where he's lacking, and we could see a lot of his moments where he's just being himself, and even him being himself, he still has to push himself a lot more harder. I think that they did a good job showing a lot of characteristics from Apollo. Great job showing those flashback scenes of his dad. I thought those moments were hitting. I thought a lot of the motivational moments with Michael B. Jordan were actually great, realistic ones as well, where when you're in a sport or when you're in your craft, everything around you is get out of my way, I'm in my zone. And that's the type of feeling I got with Michael B. Jordan putting out that projection. Very impressed on how he's putting out this fighter look and he's putting out this motivation look. And even in the love side in here, this is actually very believable. This is actually a mind of a fighter. This is actually a mind of someone who's very angry at a lot of things but keeps it to himself. So Michael B. Jordan's acting in this movie, being able to handle such a pressure of this franchise, and I feel like with his acting in this movie, he's putting out a pretty good legacy vibe, especially with this Creed thing. This can be a character that, you know, years to come could be caught by someone and be like, hey, I actually like how they did this character. A fun thing to watch as well. Going to Rocky's house, that was crazy. That meeting confrontation between Adonis and Rocky Balboa, my mind was going all over the place. Crazy to see Stallone in this performance because he's still putting out this Rocky Balboa vibe, still putting out that character. Very insane that years later you think about it, it's like, dang, this is Rocky Balboa, and like he's still there, he's doing his thing. But let's give props to Michael B. Jordan. His acting with Stallone was helping carrying the movie to a very top standard where I'm like, wow, these two people are actually looking very well on screen. A lot of dedication with his acting in this movie. You can see moment in this movie where he's running with the city of Philly and they're on their bikes and he's the one running. But I'm like, wow, that's freaking awesome. A really great updated look, motivational look. One of the scenes that gave me goosebumps like crazy of him just running through the city, just like how Balboa did, running to Balboa and then him looking up and seeing him there. Great look with the music, you know, supporting his motivational scenes, his montages scenes. Ending scene is tense. Once again, the choices is absolutely insane. They're going with the same style trunks like his dad. Stallone was dealing with some stuff during this movie. He had lost somebody in his family, a lot of heavy stuff, but seeing Stallone put out Rocky Balboa vibe, it was there. At time you could see Stallone a little bit slow, but I felt like with just so much he dealt with, it fit in the right scenarios. Adrian, Paulie, Mickey, all that is going to get brought into this movie. Stallone's acting, I would just say straightforward. I loved it. I enjoyed it. You see growth in Rocky Balboa in this movie, and you see that he was once that fighter, now he's in that trainer position. You can see how Stallone is aging like crazy in this movie, even though, you know, it's 2015, but Rocky Balboa, that character is aging. He got cancer in this movie. That acting performance of him being sick, believable, touching, where I'm like, no, this dude is dying, kind of. I'm like, no way. The movie has a lot of touching moments. Not mad at the choice how they ended the movie. You could see that this set up for something greater. Hopefully there's a lot of enhancements that I see in the second one where I'm like, good job on that. But a lot of homage to Stallone in this movie, and especially with his Rocky Balboa character. Really like the fact that he was a writer. He has writing credits in this movie, and at times in this movie with his motivational moments and his to himself moments, like you could see that he was probably a part of that one. Tessa Thompson plays the character Bianca. I enjoyed her acting. I think that whole vibe, that connection with Michael B. Jordan, felt like they actually knew each other off the set, and they're putting out a lot of the stuff they do offset into that movie vibe. The arguments they had in this movie was believable, and you could see that they both care for each other randomly. She does support Adonis, and you could see that. So good writing for her character and good overall persona. I think she put out that artist persona very well. She was at times ignorant, which was funny, and being obnoxious with that music, but realistic artist vibes, and I thought she was a great addition to this Creed movie. Other actors in this movie playing as boxers, I thought they did a really good job with the look, the connection, the boxing style. You have Andre Ward in here, who actually is a real boxer, so that was cool. They put real boxers. The hits in this movie, they're enhancing all that, and you can see a huge enhancement and all that. Even though this movie's PG-13, at times with the blood kind of gave me a rated R feeling. I'm not sure if they had to take some scenes out, but a lot of the things around this movie gives it a lot of that real feel. After my watching Creed out of 10, I'm gonna have to give this movie a 9 out of 10. So that's my movie review for the movie Creed. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.